So I don't talk a lot about anxiety because it's something that isn't as overwhelming in my life as of right now. I do get anxious a lot. I do get fucking anxious, and it's always nonsensical things. It's paranoia. It's part of my psychosis. But when it comes to your everyday person isn't gonna be psychotic like me. Your everyday person is gonna be, a normal kid who probably experience some form of anxiety or depression because that's becoming a lot more common nowadays. And I realize that my anxiety and their anxiety is different. I have OCD, I have schizophrenia. It's different than having social anxiety. Me, I get incredibly anxious over things that don't make sense, like how the computer is watching me because somebody is using the webcam to watch me, or the light is on my desk and I need to take it off my desk when I go to sleep, or else I feel like the light is looking at me for some weird reason. It's a paranoia. But everyday people experience a different kind of anxiety. Everyday people experience anxiety when it comes to much more common things. You're not gonna go up to your average person and say, "Hey, are you afraid of your light being on your desk?" Then they're probably gonna be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" When it comes to people who are experiencing anxiety in their day-to-day life, like take an average student, and most likely they're going to be anxious about things like, social interactions or a test or a quiz or their grades. It's not exactly something that always leads to a very debilitating mental illness, but anxiety can be pretty hard because people bottle up their emotions. I was in the mental hospital for my first day, and my roommate had such bad anxiety. He would blast music. We had these radios and we brought them into our room during free time, and he would blast music at the top of the radio, and we would all be able to hear it. And it was very it did make it hard to nap, but when I talked to him, he was using the radio as a coping mechanism to get him through the stay in the mental hospital. People with anxiety, a lot of the time, that anxiety will show when past trauma is triggered. Now, what I mean by that is they're put in a position where whatever happened to them in the past is revamped or reintroduced to them. For me, I don't have much trauma compared to what a lot of other people have. I mean, I've never been a victim to a violent crime. I've never even thought about what would I even do or react if I ever was. So I don't really have a lot of past trauma. I guess the worst trauma would be last year when my psychosis got really hard. And even at that, I am still pretty confident in my ability to talk about it because not a lot of people can do that, and I want to spread awareness. So people normally who suffer from anxiety on a day-to-day basis, a lot of the time they will blow up, and I don't mean blow up as in literally blow up, but they'll express very, very strong emotions, and those emotions come from all this stress and anxiety being bottled up over time, and eventually it bursts. For me, that happens to me all the time. I get so anxious that I'm being watched by my lamp. I'm getting my light, my lamp, whatever. I get really anxious that my rings are watching me, that my watch is literally a piece of my father's soul attached to my arm, even though I know that's not true. At times I know that's not true. At times I do believe it's true, if that makes any sense. But my anxiety does boil over sometimes, and I do relate when it comes to people who have bottled up emotions, because that's what I was like when I was a kid. I was a little kid, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a rapist," as like a joke, and I got into a bunch of trouble for calling myself a rapist as a sixth grader. But I would also I would sing these songs about racist things, inappropriate things, stuff like that. And I still do nowadays. I love to throw around the casual R word or N word or stuff like that just to fool people, or just because I'm chilling with my friends and I want to get some shock humor. I realize that doesn't really work nowadays because of the PC culture, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, people who are anxious on a day-to-day basis can really feel overwhelmed. And it's that overwhelming feeling that causes them to blow up sometimes. It's something that everybody has experienced at least once, whether it be piled up stockpile of emotions when it comes to work or school or college or boyfriend or girlfriend. It overflows. And I think I think that with enough practice and consistency, people can get to a much better place when it comes to their anxiety. Anxiety is something that many people suffer with, but because so many people suffer with it, it's become something that we are able to understand more clearly. I mean, we don't understand schizophrenia completely, and it's been around for a while, but we understand anxiety. And so I think that even though people may not like meds, I'd say meds can really help. I'd say learning the proper coping strategies and mechanisms also help. Just something that always works for me. I'll leave you off with this last one. Something that's always worked for me is the ability to talk about your problems, whether it be towards people on YouTube, crowdsourcing my sanity, or the people around me. People who really care about you won't just let you crash and burn, right? So I hope you enjoyed. That's all I wanted to talk about today. I'm loving the new people coming over to watch my videos. You guys are awesome. So thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one. Ahui ho, malama pono.